Ted Baruti, CEO of Norfolk Fest Events, and we want to welcome you to the 45th Annual Norfolk Harborfest, virtual style. No one more than us wants to be part of the live entertainment, the music, the family activities, and of course our great maritime celebrations that happen on our downtown Norfolk waterfront. But we hope you'll stick with us all weekend to watch some great videos, behind-the-scenes interviews, and some of our favorite footage from the last 44 years. We also want to encourage you to come to Norfolk and visit some of our great attractions and venues and restaurants that are open for Harborfest Week. There are some great places to eat out, some great sights to see, some great beaches to visit. So come down to Norfolk and join us for the 45th Annual Norfolk Harborfest, virtual style. Though there's nothing like the Parade of Sail in person on the Elizabeth River, second best is great video footage from past years that include highlights of the U.S. Coast Guard, United States Navy, some of the great tall ships from around the world, and of course all of the personal watercraft that participate every year. Please enjoy some of our favorite footage from past Parade of Sails.
There's nothing like it that brings the attention to the downtown waterfront here in Norfolk. And between the tall ships and all the participating vessels and crafts and the people, just throngs of people here in Town Point Park and downtown Norfolk all over the place, it is totally a unique, one-of-a-kind attraction, no question. The fondest memories of the Parade of Sail are those years when it's just a magnificent scene on the waterfront with all the tall ships and all that kind of thing. And not just the tall ships, but they are the ones that really, truly make the Parade of Sail a real overwhelming success. And the more we have of those, the better. And the countries that come in and bring their tall ships here, it's a fantastic amount. And so the big ones are really my favorites because of the number of vessels, kinds, and the countries that participate, the tall ships. Those would be my favorites. But each and every year has its own unique characteristics about it. But so it's just it's a great event. I can't think of anything that I would compare Harborfest to. The acts that are here, the people just enjoying themselves downtown on the waterfront in the city of Norfolk is a fabulous thing. I'd be remiss if I didn't even mention the tugboats. When we have a little tugboat challenge, we do that on Saturday afternoons as well, and that's kind of interesting in and of itself, when you get the working tugs in a competition of sorts. The future vision, of course, would be the larger the better, because it's such a wonderful type event. And so I would just as soon have this flooded with tall ships. From every conceivable country in the world that has a tall ship of any kind, size, whatever. And this thing stretching all the way down to the Chelsea neighborhood in Norfolk and making it a full downtown Chelsea, West Ghent type operation. I really like that. That's why I like those larger events that we've had over the years, the op sales and things like that. There's a certain something about particularly the tall ships, and we are accustomed here because of where we are and where we live. We see a lot of military, a lot of naval vessels and things like that, but we don't see those tall ships like we see. Magical comes to mind. To say magical, when you see the crew people on some of those up on top of the mast and on top of the sails, I mean, I think magical is a word that comes to mind. I really think that's, I don't know where it came from, but I think that's right.
Hi, I'm Jordan Lett, Marketing Director with Norfolk Fest Events. The Parade of Sail is truly a special sight to see. We'd love to give a special thanks to all of the military vessels, personal watercraft, and tall ships from all over the world that have helped make it possible over the years. Earlier this week, we partnered with the Impossible Dream and the Wounded Warriors to take a group of disabled veterans out on a cruise here on the downtown Norfolk waterfront, and here are some of the highlights from that event.
So So right now we're on the Impossible Dream. This is a wheelchair accessible catamaran sailboat. It was designed from the ground up to be wheelchair accessible. And it's universally accessible, which means that it's accessible for people with wheelchairs, but also for able-bodied people like me. It makes everything easy for everybody to get around. And then there's also hydraulic lifts to go up and down to the bedrooms and the bathrooms, and to lift the sails up, to raise the sails and lower the sails. So it all can be operated from a wheelchair.
I started with the Impossible Dream 7 years ago. I have been volunteering for this organization, Shake a Leg. It's an adaptive sailing center. One of the other volunteers there, a woman named Deborah Mellon, put up the money to buy this boat, and together with Harry Horgan, the founder of Shake a Leg, they founded the Impossible Dream organization. They had this fabulous boat and they needed a captain, so they gave me a call.
We're based out of Miami, and then this summer we have a big summer voyage each year. And we'll be back in Miami the end of October, so it'll be a 5-month trip total. And during that time we have guest crew who come and crew with us for short periods of time.
So guest crew on Impossible Dream can mean a lot of things depending on your ability. Just the design where everything is low makes it so that I can do anything in the boat. Sometimes I've got to wash dishes, which is probably my least favorite. I swab the deck, I can do lines, I can helm the boat. I'm on a regular watch just like everybody else, and I sail as much time as everybody else does.
Our mission, first and foremost, is to just improve the lives of people with disabilities through sailing, bring sailing to people who can't normally access that, and then also just promote universal accessibility on the water and off the water. You know, it can be accessible for everybody, and we can design the world that way, and we're trying to promote that mission as well.
The goal every year is to bring 1,000 people in wheelchairs out on the boat. As things calm down, we hope to get fully back into action, and hopefully next year we'll hit that number again, or maybe come close to it this year.
Harborfest is one of my favorite stops. The event, it's a great event. In years past, we participated in the Parade of Sail, and we got to go to the concert and just really enjoy the whole festival, which is a lot of fun.
Especially at Harborfest 2 years ago when we were part of the Parade of Sail, just the fact of seeing somebody in a wheelchair on the bow of a boat and helping sail a boat, that's maybe something that people have never seen before. And it kind of opens people's eyes to, oh, this is possible. How do I get involved? How do we make this possible in other settings or on other boats? And just kind of, waking people up to accessibility on the water and how important that is.
The Impossible Dream's a great boat. It's really nice to have an adaptive boat out here so, people can experience what the city of Norfolk has to offer. So I just want to say thank you so much to the Impossible Dream, and keep doing the work that you guys are doing.
It's very accommodating for someone that is in a wheelchair. This is our first trip. So this is something that I would recommend if the opportunity arises.
If you want to learn more about our organization, you can go to our website, theimpossibledream.org, and you can contact us through the website or our Facebook page and participate in one of our sails.
A huge shout out and thank you to Captain Ray and the entire crew at the Impossible Dream. The work they're doing to raise awareness and improve the quality of life for people with disabilities is truly special work.
Speaking of sailing, though we weren't able to get together in person for Harborfest this year, we hope that you will come enjoy all of Norfolk's waterfronts, whether it's the beaches of Ocean View or some of the harbor cruise boats that leave out of downtown Norfolk. Please visit festevents.org for all of the details of all the activities that are taking place on Norfolk's waterfronts this weekend.
A great deal of fun, family oriented.
I mean, I grew up in this area, so I'm really, anything water, I'm all for it. Just love boats, love the events that go on in the water, and just a very memorable time.
The jetpack that actually would hover above the water. The whole package. I really enjoyed that whole package. Entertainment and the activities, the food.
All the food choices you can withstand on Waterside Drive. You look forward to it. You build it up, and it's just an amazing event. Water and maritime with the shipping and the boat community, and then the different water events that we have.
The Coast Guard search and rescue demonstration the tug muster, workboat races that our commercial fishermen do, the dirty boat race. The Navy will come and they'll do a demonstration.
It gives you like a sense of just excitement overall.
You know, when you go into an event, you're going to have a good time. And you want to invite your friends. So if you come with friends, you know you're going to have an even greater time.
Well, I think a party, we have the after dark events and the magnitude, the hundreds of thousands of people.
You know, this event is all about is having exchanges and getting to know more about, other countries. It was nice to kind of come together and have not only folks from the Latinx community, but just everyone to experience that nice, fun welcome.
From the maritime heritage perspective, I've always considered Harborfest to be the celebration of that. And to look down and see all the tall ships and all the tall masts was true. That was pretty cool.
It's always that connection that people have to bringing their families to the park for an event. I mentioned earlier that I love to see the children and how much they enjoy it, and I think that's a big part of the event and why families really enjoy coming out here. So it's bright and cheery and fun, and it's just a wonderful experience to have an exchange with folks that are visiting us, but also with other members of our community. And it's nice when you're walking around and you hear different languages being spoken.
So it just also highlights the great history and tradition of the area, on top of giving the city of Norfolk a great profile.
I hope to see this, way beyond, it's like a legacy. It's nice to be able to pass that on to your family members so they remember that there is a place to go.
To me, that's what Harborfest is all about.
There is one positive that comes out of a virtual festival weekend, and that is we, the staff, and all of the volunteers actually getting a moment of time to pause and thank all of those that serve us, not just at Harborfest, but all year long. For Harborfest weekend, we're fortunate to work with the United States Navy, United States Coast Guard, but all branches of the military as well, including the Army and Air Force. We also have so many people that dedicate their week and weekend to us, from police, fire, and emergency rescue services. We could not have such a large, safe gathering without all of these government agencies and volunteers coming together as one on one platform to give us a behind-the-scenes effort to keep us all safe and sound for a great festival weekend. And we'd like to take a moment today to thank them for their service, not only at Harborfest, but throughout the year.
My name is Chief Ryan Chartier. I'm a marine science technician with Sector Virginia. I've been with the Coast Guard for just going on 16 years. My primary mission here is to process and vet marine events permit applications, to engage in the stakeholder outreach through message traffic. It's just always been a pleasure to work with Fest Events on that front. With regard to Harborfest and the other events as well, that's all the Coast Guard is ever after, is to ensure the safety of patrons, that they can come and they can enjoy the festivities and they can have a good time. And that safety aspect really is just that safety net, hopefully not to be used, and you can really feel the energy when you come down here. And hopefully patrons that come in for the first time to the Port of Norfolk on the cruise ships, they see that as well. They see the naval history, right? They see the boardwalk and how we're looking to really put that boardwalk in front of people and say, look, we're proud of our history and heritage. Here it is. And I think anytime you put together an organized event, it's an opportunity inherently for patrons to come out and utilize the waterway. Maybe somebody who doesn't even operate a watercraft can come down to the water side and feel like they're connected to the waterway activity. I think for the patrons of the event that are taking advantage of the viewpoint of the various activities, take in the experience and really enjoy the event the way it was meant to be enjoyed. I think it's a wonderful place to live. I think, as a service member that's moved around the country, from the deep south to the Midwest, to New York City, and now here in Virginia. It's incredible. I think it's part of the way of life here. I think the community, being that the military is embedded right in the heart of the community, I think it speaks volumes. And I've never felt like I wasn't accepted, as if this was my home when we moved here. And we want to see the events grow. And the Harborfest that we knew 4 decades ago has changed so much now. In our present day, and we assume that it's going to change for the better and evolve and get better, bigger, as the Port of Virginia is growing, which is just, it's wonderful for the area, and it's wonderful for the patrons who take part in the event itself. It's never been a day that I haven't woke up ready to go to work, and I'll surpass 16 years here in service, and if I can, I'll do another 16. I never get tired of it. I think it's great, and that's really what any service member would appreciate. It's part of what keeps you going.
Thank you to all of our fans and friends joining us virtually this weekend. Though we wish we could be in person celebrating together, we're making the best of our situation. As today comes to an end, we invite you to stay tuned all weekend for more behind-the-scenes footage, interviews, and promotions happening around town this weekend. Stay tuned, and we'll see you later.